guys. Reef Cleaners, reefcleaners.org. These guys are really good. I'm going to put them in, float the bags, and I'll talk a little bit about how I do it.
All right, I'm back again. Third time, guys. You know, I'm on a roll. I'm really getting into it again. I don't know what happened to me. So it's good to be back. Today I'm going to show you what Astrea snails, hermit crabs, and turbo snails can do to your tank.
All right, guys, this is why I float the bags unopened. I'm sure some of you have heard this, maybe some of you not. When you're getting overnight bags of live animals delivered to you, the pH goes down and ammonia goes up. When you get the bags into your tank and you open them up and start adding fresh salt water from your tank, it causes the pH to rise and the ammonia will spike. So that's actually killing your fish. And I've done this for probably 20 years now. It seems crazy because we're always taught, you know, slowly drip them in. Now, if you're bringing a fish from a local fish store or whatever, and it's a half-hour drive, that's different. Then you can drip or acclimate by adding water from your tank.
What I found is that people who aren't successful with reef cleaners, snails and hermits, because they don't put enough in, it's better to put more in than less.
This is how they ship the snails and hermits with wet paper towel. It's limited amounts of water, not much at all. All right, so let's take them out of the bag and see what we got. I got some large turbo snails. They come in water and paper towel. I got 20 Astrea snails. These small ones can flip, so you don't have to worry about putting these in upright. They're small Astreas, they'll be able to flip over. And if you guys have followed me in the past, I always put my cleaners in one area, put them in a big pile or just one spot. And that way, when I check back, I can see how many survive and how they do. If they disperse and they're not there anymore, then I know they all survive. And I got 50 hermit crabs. I like to say 1 per gallon. In my case, I have a decent amount of algae, so 1 per gallon is fine. I even did a little less than that. That's it. So there they are. And we'll check back and see how we're doing. Look, you can already see the large turbo snail is already attaching to the glass. That's what I need around the rocks. Those big turbos to start chunking away at that stuff. I've done this a lot of times, guys. And the activity and movement on these guys is a good sign. You know, all of them are moving. The hermits are moving. I'm seeing some of the Astreas uprighted already. This one is not so upright. This one's not, but we'll come back and we'll see. This has only been about 5 minutes since I put them in. This is a big turbo snail. I haven't had one of these in a long time, but I felt I needed it because of a lot of the algae. It might chew into some of this here. You can already see the Astreas are going to work, the hermits. This is about 20 minutes after I put them in. I only see a few upside down. So I literally had no Astreas, maybe 1 in this whole tank, guys. 1 Astrea, maybe 4 or 5 hermit crabs is it. So I'm gonna see if this really can get the algae back to where I want, and then I'm gonna get a tang again, I think. And this is about 2 hours later, guys. They've dispersed. I like to see these hermits right on the rock going to town on it. That's awesome. So check, look who's out, Mr. Fatso. Anyway, and they're dispersing nicely. You know, they're still around here, but look how many are clung on to this big turbo snail. All right, so these guys are making their way up here. One came all the way up there. We can never underestimate the value of cleaners. Look at this from yesterday. This is the following morning. I put these yesterday 3:30, and you can see how much has already come off that rock. And you can see this one they haven't gotten to yet. But this is a big difference here. And they've dispersed, if you've noticed. There's the big turbo back there. And this is about 8:30 a.m. the next morning. You can see how much came off already. They've eaten. They're working their way up here. And so we'll just keep an eye on it and see the improvements. I look at this every day really closely, so I'll be able to keep you posted. This guy never comes out. He's out. Maybe the snails or whatever kind of scared him to come out a little bit. I've had him for about 6 years now, and I don't feed him. You know, whatever sinks to the bottom, maybe he gets, but he's always in the back, so he's eating on his own and whatever's left that floats to the bottom. So day 2, check this out, guys. They've done a really good job on this. Remember, this was kind of all filled in up here? It's on its way out, and check this out as we move up this rock. This was really grown in, and they're really doing a job on that. I don't think this red stuff is going to come out. It's a reddish brown. Wish I knew what that was. It's very hard embedded in the rock, like a turf, but I don't know if it is. This is kind of cool. What they're doing here is they're climbing up my overflow, and there's lots of algae around the top, and they're making their way around, cleaning that off. That's pretty cool. A lot of the hair algae gets collected and caught in there. So that's another thing. This rock anemone I've had for about 6 years now. I barely feed it. It just sits there. It's moved maybe twice in the last few years. And it's just really cool. Still looks really healthy. Just thought I'd show you that. It's day 3, guys, and it's coming along really well. The rock's getting more clean. Sometimes the hermits and snails leave an area and they go somewhere else and they come back, but it's looking quite good. And up in the top, this is really noticeable up here. They like that top overflow area. And over here, I've noticed the hermits have congregated in this area, and they're starting to loosen things up. Stuff starts to fall away and they eat it. And then under here, I see the turbo snail has made its way over here. I have 3 of those. I don't see the other 2 around. And you have some of the small astrias up around the top and in the back. So this is pretty good for 3 days, guys. We'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes.